Okay, now
Let's
let's try this again.
when
Guys,
will this?
we literally just did one for like 45 minutes and my audio wasn't working, so we're here again. At this point, I'm fed up. I swear, this video better get 1 million views, man. Okay, so guys, we're here to talk about boxing. For the fourth time. Oh gosh, no, it's gonna work. Everything's gonna be good. I'm positive in this one. Okay, so Sham, once again, welcome yourself.
Yeah, I'm sure. I love boxing. I'm a part of the NTK Global Academy. Let's talk about what happened this weekend.
Yes, let's go. First we'll start off with the Chisora versus Usyk fight. Obviously, feels strange talking about it again, but nah, it was a good fight. It was very entertaining. We saw in the earlier rounds Chisora, he was doing well, putting Usyk under pressure. But we all knew the longer the fight went, the more it was, going to be in Usyk's favor, and we saw that really with the ending result.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the second time we recorded this, I said to you that Chisora's biggest successes will come in the first few rounds because
Yeah.
with Usyk's style, he takes time to settle in every fight. No matter what the fight is, he will take the first round off. He'll just check, see what you're about. Chisora didn't. I think he did the right thing in a way in putting pressure on, trying to land a big shot on him, but obviously because Usyk defensively is unbelievable. His footwork, where his hands are when he's doing it as well. He saw a lot of the shots coming. He's
Yeah.
been someone as successful. He's such a successful amateur. And as a pro, he was undisputed cruiserweight champion. Like we could see the shots coming from a mile away.
Yeah,
That is
it's
why.
true. It's
And
true.
what he was doing really well is he was tiring Chisora out just by making him miss, which
Yeah.
and then he was also and then as the fight went on later, he was tiring up Chisora by putting pressure with his front foot by feinting because what feinting does is it mentally tires you. And that's
Yeah.
what Usyk is so good at doing, mentally tiring you.
Yeah. No, I agree.
He is probably the master at it. Fury is another person who does it well with the feint because it keeps you thinking. And
Yeah, it always keeps you thinking. Yeah.
if you watch Usyk's previous fights, first round he'll take off, and then if you looking at all of his fights, nearly every one of those fighters have got tired because of the pressure he puts mentally and in the ring, his physical presence as well with his feinting.
Yeah.
For example, if you look at the Tony Bellew fight, Tony Bellew had success in the first 4 rounds. Then he started to gas because of what Usyk was doing. He turned up the heat.
It's like he kind of just soaks up the pressure, kind of, and he's
Yeah,
sees what you've got. Okay, yeah, now it's my turn, kind of thing. Then he just goes to work.
In a way, he kind of survives the first couple of rounds because he's calculating. He's calculating.
Literally. He knows what he's doing.
He's seeing what you bring, and then once he's figured you out, it's game over for you. For people, it's game over. And for Chisora, he had his moments of success because it was just pure grit. He was just at times I didn't even think he knew what he was throwing, but he was just throwing it because
he was just throwing, but he didn't know where he was going with it.
He wanted it so bad, but I saw on I think it was his Instagram live that he thought he won the fight, and he didn't.
Yeah,
I don't Usyk just took over. After round 3, round 4, Usyk just took over completely and dominated for the rest of the fight. But it was closer than I thought it would be.
Yes, yeah, it is. It actually is. Chisora did well.
I did think that I thought it would either be an Usyk late TKO or I thought it would be an Usyk decision. No, I didn't think for once that Chisora would win that fight, but he did better than I was expecting.
And what he showed us is that, because obviously a lot of people are saying that, it's time for him to retire, shows that he's still got something to give in the sport of boxing, and he still is, putting up entertaining fights. And but as long as he can do that, I guess, you can stay in the sport. Obviously, there isn't much for him to really do now, but I'm guessing he's just gonna fight,
That's what he does.
top
He fights for
fighters.
the
He's
fight.
just gonna,
I feel like he could have retired after the Dylan White fight.
yeah.
That's what I thought would happen. I thought because of the manner of that knockout, that's what I thought would happen. I thought he would retire straight after that fight, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He came back. It was a bit of a lackluster performance again in April against Gashi, and then after Spilka, when he knocked him out in 2 rounds, that's when his career really got back on track.
Yeah. See, with shows, he can turn it around. Who knows? In his next fight, he might win. So you never know with Chisora. I think it just depends on the fighter really, and how he performs on the day. But he's still got something to give, definitely there, and it'll be interesting to see what he does, where he goes from there.
Like people were saying that Chisora was finished before the Takan fight.
Yeah.
And that fight with Takan was probably one of the best fights I've ever seen. They were just slugging it out for however long it lasted, and then Chisora pulled out an overhand right out of the bag, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah. See,
he's very when there's a crowd there chanting his name, he becomes like a man possessed at times.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the whole, fans thing, a lot of people are saying that's the reason that Lomachenko lost as well, because he didn't have the fans supporting him. But I don't think it's that. At the end of
100%.
the day, it's the skill that you have, and obviously
100.
on the night Lomachenko wasn't the better fighter. So
I think the thing with Lomachenko was like it was simply he lost the fight simply because he didn't do enough in the first 7 rounds.
yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, he literally
Teofimo
wasn't
Lopez
the
was
better man on the night.
he outlanded him. He just threw more punches,
Yeah.
and because of Teofimo Lopez's size, his speed, he's got the quicker hand,
Yeah.
and because of his power, Lomachenko, it took him longer for him to settle, and because first round, everyone in the boxing world knew that it would take Lomachenko a couple of rounds to settle in, but it took him actually longer. It took him 7 rounds before he actually threw more punches, and when he did, he won the round.
Yeah. It's just like too late. Yeah, a little too late.
Too late, and that is, I don't think that should be blamed to fans. I think that's just a great game plan from Lopez because I think he planned it.
Yeah, and it shows you why he's at the top of his ranking, because he knows what he's doing. He knows what to do in situations, and he gets the results.
Very smart. He's a very smart fighter, and to think he's only 23.
23. That is so crazy, 23. Shit.
It's scary what he's going to be able to do in the future. It could be it. He has such a bright future ahead of him. Probably, in my opinion, he'll become pound for pound #1 very soon.
Yeah, nah, it's true. It's true.
He just needs to build his resume a little bit more. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, and especially obviously, well, with Davis, obviously we've heard that after another fight he wants to then go for Lopez. So I feel like that would be if Lopez wins that, it would be like he's the guy kind of thing. So
I just think that he is already the guy. There was about 3 million people who watched the fight.
Yeah.
3 million people watched him fight.
You can't argue against it.
You can't argue against it because look who he beat as well. It's not like he beat someone he beat Lomachenko.
Yeah. And it's not like Lomachenko's slowed down anything. He's still at the top of his game. So
yeah, he was the better man on the night, and credit to him basically.
Yeah, literally credit to him. Now moving on from that, obviously another fight that happened was Gervonta Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz.
which
And
was
I still can't get over the knockout, like, he was gone, he was out. He didn't move for a good while. He didn't move for a good while.
when I was watching it, it was like I was lying down on the sofa. Actually no, I wasn't really lying down. I was just sitting on the sofa and I was just watching the fight, and I was just thinking, Santa Cruz is causing him problems. Santa Cruz,
He was. It did look like that, He was causing him problems.
Problem, and it was also the fact that he was landing the punches. Like I said to you before in the video that didn't get recorded, I said to you that Santa Cruz was landing. He was countering what Davis was doing because Davis wasn't moving out of the way quick enough.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, he takes a little step to the left and he lands the biggest shot of his career against a guy who had never been down in his career.
Jesus, man.
And he was lights out.
He was out cold. He was out cold. Unbelievable. It just shows the power that Gervonta Davis has. It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
He's a very athletic fighter. He's got the speed. He's got the power. And he was in shape for this fight.
Yeah.
He was in shape for this fight. He's still got a lot to learn. He's still got a lot to learn.
Yeah, I believe that. He just needs to I feel just sharpen a few aspects of his game for him to really get to that next level.
Yeah, making sure. I think because Gervonta Davis will be used to when he's landing, he's hurting them and nothing will come back at him.
Yeah.
But that's what he needs to pay attention to. At the top level, there are fighters who will counterpunch. They will counterpunch. You've got people like Teofimo Lopez, who's very good at it. Lomachenko is also very good at it. David Haney is good at it. You have to watch what's coming back at you after you've finished punching.
Yeah,
that's what you have to do. It's a basic, basically.
Yeah.
It's a basic in boxing.
Well, hopefully with Floyd Mayweather in his corner now, maybe that might be able to happen because obviously as we saw,
Mayweather's known a defensive fighter ever. If Gervonta Davis isn't learning his defense from Floyd and his coaches, then what is he doing? But Gervonta Davis was doing when Santa Cruz was taking the lead. Gervonta Davis was doing very well in terms of moving his head. He does that quite well. It's just about, from when I was watching the fight, it's making sure he's getting out of range, stepping out at an angle once he's finished punching, and then he'll be golden. Against Santa Cruz, another criticism that I would have of it is Santa Cruz is coming up from featherweight. He was never he won his first title at I'm pretty sure it was 122 pounds. 122 pounds. Gervonta Davis was the bigger guy in there. He wasn't fighting in that featherweight, so he was the stronger guy on the inside. That's what made.
It's surprising though, because even though he was a shorter guy, for most of the fight, you didn't really see him, fighting inside.
Yeah, I don't think he's exactly an inside fighter.
Yeah, it's weird, but you'd expect it, kind of, because
he's a boxer that has a lot of power.
Yeah.
But I think Santa Cruz is normally decent on the inside because of the amount of punches he throws.
Yeah,
but he was just not he wasn't as strong on the inside, and his punches didn't have enough power to affect Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it personally.
I mean, we'll see what Davis brings if he ever does decide to move up, which I think he will. See, how he handles dealing with bigger guys, and because that lightweight division is dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. I think Lopez, Loma, and Haney, in my opinion, beat him. If Ryan Garcia beats Campbell, that is a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Purely because all of these guys are bigger than him.
I feel like he'll struggle against Ryan Garcia because there's no way he can fight outside. He has to get inside with Ryan Garcia.
I think the thing with Ryan Garcia is we don't know how good he is yet.
Yeah.
I think the Campbell fight will actually tell us so much about what he's about.
Yeah.
Whether his footwork is good enough, his shot selection, whether his speed and power can actually get him, like, whether his speed and power is enough to get him to world level already, or is there stuff he still needs to work on.
Work on, yeah.
That's
And
what
it's
we'll.
weird because you see a lot of these fighters are training with, because I know Brian Garcia, he trains with the Canelo team, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Eddie,
It's interesting to see how these upcoming fighters are training with people who are the elite of their division. So
thing is, do you know who's trained Teofimo Lopez?
too.
His dad.
Oh
That's
see?
what Lomachenko is also trained by his dad as well. It's
Yeah. See, it's
like
crazy.
it's good to have like Floyd Mayweather in your corner and stuff,
Yeah.
and you will learn a lot from him. At the same time, it doesn't mean you're gonna become that world class fighter. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
that
It's true, and
you're
especially when you have obviously somebody who's actually family in your corner. They're putting everything into it. For example, if Davis wasn't as popping as he was, would Floyd be there helping him really?
Floyd's been managing his career since he turned pro. To be fair,
True, but he from the get go he's been doing his thing. So clearly Floyd saw something in him that said I can make this guy something big.
I
But
might be
if
the boxing.
but if there wasn't all that, would he still be so willing to help him if he wasn't like a potentially to be one of the best pound for pound boxers?
I mean, I don't think Mayweather would be there if he didn't believe that in
Yeah,
Gervonta Davis. To be fair, I think
exactly. So, but
it's interesting to see how people actually like what it takes, because with Lopez Senior, everyone thought he was a complete joke before that Lomachenko fight. They
yeah,
thought guy's talking way too much, and then his son went out there and beat one of the pound for pound best fighters on the planet.
that's
So
crazy.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. I mean, it just shows he knows his son is the elite of the elite, and he's just going out there and proving it.
He said from like I think it was like a year ago. He said that Lopez would make that fight easy, and for a lot of it, it was quite easy for Lopez.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
if we can go back to Usyk Chisora and
Yeah.
how Usyk would deal with everyone else in the division, because Chisora was the heavyweight test he needed, in my opinion. He
Yeah.
needed that test because previously he'd fought Chaz Witherspoon. I mean, no disrespect to Chaz Witherspoon, but he was never going to be that test for Usyk that
For
Usyk
Usyk,
needed.
yeah.
And that's exactly what Chisora provided. Big, strong guy.
Yeah, real heavyweight.
But the thing is, I would rather have. I think Usyk needs to fight someone like 6'6", someone like
Yeah.
Joshua of Fury's height, because it'd be interesting to see how he closes the distance in those fights. Because
Yeah.
in like what he does so well is when he's up against someone like similar height to him or maybe smaller than him. Let's say they do catch him, like Chisora did catch him a couple of times in that fight.
Yeah, yeah.
He was very quick to smother him, very
Yeah,
quick. He
yeah.
clinched on and then went back to his boxing, moved around like he was on skates at the time.
Yeah, literally, footwork is crazy.
I was thinking about it yesterday. In the first like couple of rounds, the ring didn't look so big. But when
Yeah.
Usyk gets going, he makes the ring look huge because of
Huge,
how well
yeah.
he's able
Like, how much space do you have to move around?
to so well. His like when watching him against in the Super Series final against Gassier, I remember watching that fight and I really like Gassier. He came back this weekend, got a knockout in the first round because he
Yeah.
hadn't fought since that Usyk fight.
Oh,
But
wow.
I remember watching that fight thinking, oh, Gassier's going to land. And he just didn't. Just didn't. I
Yeah.
think it looked a little bit like he gave up because he just knew how good Usyk was.
And that goes
Well,
back to the mentally draining thing. He just demoralizes you in that ring, and you can't really
exactly.
do anything about
He
it.
just demoralized. He breaks you down mentally. Like, Gassier wasn't like breathing heavy in that fight,
Yeah.
but he just couldn't do anything. But if you look at Chisora and Bellew, they both tied out by like round 4 because
Yeah.
Usyk making with Bellew, he was fighting at too high of a pace, and the same thing with Chisora, fighting at too high of a pace. Usyk made them miss. He made them miss. He was moving out of the way perfectly, catching it on the glove, and then it was the pressure he brought on afterwards that tired them out even more. And
Yeah.
that's just Usyk does
Then
that so
yeah,
well.
it's game
But,
over from there. It's literally game over from there.
but it's a different story when you're coming up against someone like Joshua and Fury, who are so much bigger than him, guys who can punch as well. They can punch.
And move around the ring.
Yeah, and they can, most importantly, they can keep it at a range. They can fight at a range where Usyk can't land.
Yeah.
Like Josh, let's say, like going back to the thing where I said about when Usyk fights people the same size, when they clip him, he can clinch on. If Joshua
Yeah.
hits the outside with the right hand, it is quite difficult to actually. You have to close the distance to clinch on.
Yeah. And when
And
he's
if
coming in to do that, anything
when he
can be
gets
coming in.
and that's why I personally don't believe that Usyk can beat Joshua and Fury. With
Yeah.
Wilder, even though he's got the height, he hasn't got the technique. That is
Yeah.
why I
That's
give
so
Usyk
true.
the edge in that, because Usyk will be able to create angles of it, and Wilder wouldn't know what's coming at him half the time.
Yeah, and I feel like that right hand, Usyk would see it coming,
Yeah,
so he'd be
exactly.
able to avoid it.
Usyk wouldn't let that. Obviously, with Wilder, it only takes one,
Yeah.
but Usyk would see it coming. He would know it. He would have a game plan knowing how to negate that right hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got the movement to do it. And that's why I'd favor him against Wilder. But when you're coming up against like Fury and Joshua, who Joshua has a terrific shot selection
Yeah.
at his best. He's powerful and he's got boxing skills, similar to
Yeah.
Fury as well. He's just got boxing skills. He can keep it at an outside range very well as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Usyk just struggles to actually do something against him.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I agree. But speaking of speaking of Fury, obviously the whole Deontay Wilder situation, him putting out a statement, complaining, and
He put, I
making
put out
excuses.
the video, and then I was just like, has he believed his what his own fanboys are saying? How he's because it's him saying it. It's not like his media. It's not like his team are saying, "Oh, he broke his arm during training camp," or the costume was too heavy. There's been things to disprove each of.
Do you know what's funny? Every time I get reminded of that fight, I just think of that Dylan White meme where he's just laughing. He's like, "Oh, he just got beat up," and it's true. He actually did just get beat up. Like it wasn't even a boxing match. He actually got beat up.
Battered all over that ring, and like I think I said it when he lost. Is like Wilder's ego was very inflated, and Fury just broke his ego completely. And Wilder's trying to find that pride within himself by making all of these excuses, but it's not going to work. It's just
Yeah.
not going to work. No one. There's only a few people who actually believe him for some reason. I don't know what's going on in their heads, but it's like Fury beat him fair and square, and
Yeah.
I don't want to see that trilogy fight because of how bad the
Yeah,
second fight.
because it just is gonna be much of the same thing. Plus, people would rather see Fury Joshua than
Yeah,
have to watch Deontay Wilder versus Fury again. Obviously,
Fury,
there was supposed to be a rematch after the second fight, but obviously that rematch clause has expired now, so it's kind of up
yeah,
to Fury to see if he wants to, let him have that fight or just
yeah.
carry on moving on. Which I doubt he will give him the fight, otherwise he would have done it already by now. So
He might give him the fight, but I don't. I personally don't want it. I don't want to see
yeah,
it.
it's so pointless. There's no point, honestly.
With the whole. I think everybody, every boxing fan on the planet wants to see Fury versus AJ now. There,
Yeah, that's like the next thing.
there,
Like Deontay
if,
Wilder's done, man.
if there's a fan that doesn't want that fight, you're not a fan. That is
Yeah,
as simple as that.
yeah, literally, literally,
It's
literally.
simple as that. You're not a fan if you don't want that fight. And like I've said before, I said it's a fight that can end in all different ways. It's whether Joshua can. It may Joshua, if he wins by decision, may not exactly outbox him. He might just outwork him. Might
True.
just outwork him, hit him to the body, get him tired. I can see all four results. I can even see a draw potentially.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. This fight, anything can happen. It's crazy.
and obviously right now Fury's got a lot of momentum after that Wilder fight, but I just think that Joshua provides something completely different to what Klitschko and Wilder provided, and that
Yeah,
could cause Fury problems because there's been this the whole argument of Fury, AJ, and Wilder has always been it's been going on for a long time, and I've
yeah,
seen quite a few people say that Fury will beat Wilder stylistically just because he'll be able to negate that right hand and stuff. Then AJ will lose to Wilder because Wilder has the right hand of hell and he will land it. And then
yeah,
AJ will beat Fury because of his punch variation, his shot selection,
yeah.
and that stuff. And I think I disagree that I think AJ will beat Wilder as well.
Yeah,
But
I think AJ could beat Wilder as well.
I do understand where they're coming from stylistically. I think stylistically it's more of a challenge for Fury than what's it called? Klitschko and Wilder provided
Yeah,
because of what I was explaining before. Because Wilder and Klitschko, even though Klitschko is so much better technically, they both it's both about it's jab. They throw a lot of jabs. They'll try and set up the right hand, and once the right hand lands, they'll follow up with the left hook unless the guy's already down.
yeah,
That's how they fight. They don't
yeah,
really
yeah.
fight trying to land uppercuts and body shots like that. Like
Which we've
if you look
seen
at
AJ do multiple times, multiple times. And
yeah,
his uppercut is known famously for the Klitschko fight as well. So
yeah, he's known for that uppercut against Klitschko, the uppercut against Dylan White as well. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
way he
See, so
did that uppercut really well. So he's
it
got that uppercut
shows.
in his locker. He can throw body shots as well.
Yeah,
But I think Fury can outbox him just because he's taller. He's taller, he's
yeah,
longer, unbelievable boxing brain, he's got unbelievable footwork, and he got I think I do think AJ will stop him,
yeah.
but I would not be surprised if Fury knocks him out, Fury goes decision, or AJ wins by decision. That's how I
Yeah,
see it.
it is a fight that can go either way, which is why it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people are favoring Fury because of how he demolished Deontay Wilder. Plus, AJ's loss and everything. But like I said before, AJ coming in as the underdog, I think it's really gonna play into his advantage, and I feel like he'll use that well to kind of
Fury,
motivate him. Plus, AJ's still learning. I feel like Fury's kind of
peaked.
perfected his craft and how he fights and everything. But AJ, I feel like he's still learning. Obviously, and I'm excited to see how he does in the Pulev fight as well because he hasn't fought
I think that will
in a
show
very
a lot.
long
If
while.
he like, I personally believe that Joshua will knock him out within within 5 rounds because
Yeah,
we've seen Pulev go down. He's 30. I think he might even be 40. I don't know.
oh
I think
my
he's
god.
39 though. He's not going to have as good. He's not known for his punch resistance.
Yeah,
And Joshua is so powerful.
Yeah,
So
he's crazy.
that's why I think it will just end in the first 5 rounds, and Joshua will be looking to put a statement on.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I wouldn't be surprised if Joshua knocked him out in the first round. I
Yeah,
just wouldn't be surprised.
we're just and because people are forgetting just because AJ lost to Ruiz at one time. Let's not forget AJ. He's a crazy boxer. He's known for most of his knockouts have been in early rounds and have been against top boxers as well. So AJ is not a joke at all. So people shouldn't count him out of this fight and just underestimate him.
Everyone is counting him out, but I think AJ knows that he needs to put on a good performance. He knows that because of the Fury fight, everybody knows that. Because Fury's fights first. Because apparently he's fighting December 5th still. If Fury comes out of that with no problems, AJ will have a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah,
and I
true.
think he'll.
But
And I
it
think
will also be less because I don't know. I don't think there will be fans, so obviously that can kind of cancel it out a bit, because it's not the. But then this is the first time we'll see AJ fight without the fans, and we know he is quite of a fan favorite when it comes to boxing.
like all of his fights in the UK recently have been in stadiums. They've been stadiums that with like 80,000 fans.
Literally.
I think it'll be interesting, but at the same time, I feel like it could be one of his best performances.
I feel like the no audience thing will help him because if he can perform that well with that much pressure, fans chanting, screaming his name, when he's just in his zone, just him and another person, I feel like we'll really be able to see like the best Anthony Joshua without any distractions or anything. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And then what should we talk about next? So we've got we've got White Povetkin, we've got Joyce Dubois coming afterwards. But
White Povetkin, we've got Dubois.
White Povetkin is just. I think it will be similar to the first fight in my opinion. I don't think, like I said to you in the previous video, I think White won't have learned how to completely outbox Povetkin for 12 rounds.
Yeah.
In the matter of 3 months, in my opinion. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I think he'll.
It will be much of the same thing, White is probably gonna take control. The only thing that I see differently is White, when he hurts Povetkin, he needs to get him out. I'm hoping he's learned that in these 3 months, that when he hurts him, he needs to get him out of there. Otherwise, he is dangerous. He still is dangerous, even no matter how much he's dominating. Povetkin, as he showed, he can land that punch that can make the difference.
He got 2 in that 4th round of the first fight. He got 2 knockdowns, but if you look at the way he knocked him down, it was 1 punch. He does need to go through. Once he's got Povetkin down, Povetkin will probably get up the first time. Unless White completely turns his lights out, Povetkin will most likely get.
I think he will definitely unless it's a clean knockout like we saw from Gervonta Davis, Povetkin definitely will get up and he's gonna come at you again. So yeah, he's got to get him out if he does manage to hurt him.
You cannot afford to have Povetkin in the ring because every second he is dangerous. Because I've watched Povetkin a few times. I've even watched him live.
Yeah.
Like his punches don't actually look that hard, but what he does really, he sets up the punches pretty well because he's pretty quick. Obviously, he has power, but you don't see the shot coming. Like the David Price fight.
And I feel that's what completely made White, because when you see a punch coming, even if it's a bit too late, you can kind of brace yourself for it. But if it's out of nowhere, that's when you're more likely to just get knocked out cold because it's like, shit, like I didn't expect that.
It's the punch that you don't see, that's the one that's going to knock you out. And that's what Povetkin has done so well. Like, I'm going to bring David Price fight. It was the overhand right that Price was trying to, from what I remember, Price was trying to protect himself with the body shot, and then the right hand came over,
Yeah.
and he was gone. And then the left hook afterwards, that was a brutal knockout.
Yeah.
And with White as well, the way he gets knocked down, I'm pretty sure every knockdown in his career, there's been an uppercut. It's been an uppercut that's gone
Uppercut,
down.
yeah. So it's just like he just struggles seeing those punches, or he's not. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think
Yeah, he does have a big problem with them because we've seen it quite a few times now. To be fair.
got the what's it called? Yeah, Joshua obviously knocked him out of the right hand.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Parker landed a straight right hand first, but it might have been an uppercut that dropped him.
Yeah.
Then you've got Oscar Rivas, who drops him with an uppercut in the 9th round. And then obviously Povetkin, who just landed the left uppercut that's held.
Yeah.
And
That was
yeah,
bad. That was very bad.
my jaw has dropped twice in the last
yeah. Literally.
Connor Davis landed that left uppercut. I think I stood up because I was like,
Yeah,
what?
I was watching it on my phone in my bed because I couldn't just get on my TV. I don't know, it wasn't working, and I was watching it thinking, yeah, interesting. He is causing Davis problems. Then when that uppercut hit, I was just like, what the fuck?
Like when that uppercut hit, Santa Cruz looked like he was taking his punches all right.
Yeah,
All of a sudden,
yeah,
I just see him just dead
yeah,
completely.
yeah, because he just went.
It's like three. It's like 3:30 in the morning. I didn't want to shout because my parents were asleep. But it was like, what
I
was
was
I
literally
just?
just there, like.
What? That was incredible. I tweeted it straight away. It's like, what a knockout! Like,
One crazy
yes,
knockout. Crazy knockout, man.
but with the White fight, when Povetkin did it, my jaw genuinely dropped because
Yeah,
I
because
thought
that one, like with Santa Cruz, he still was causing problems throughout the fight. With
it
the
looked
white
like
one,
wrong.
Povetkin was non-existent, really, if I'm honest. And when he hit that shot, it was like, how? From where? Like, it was out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I think White will do it this time. I think he knows what he has to do, and
Yeah.
I think he'll do it. But I'm
Yeah, 100%.
not at all.
And
I'm,
especially if he wants a title shot, he has to prove now that
yeah, he
the
has
last
to.
match was just a one punch that Povetkin got, but he still is the real deal, and he can still go and compete with the best. Because if not, then it does put him in a sticky situation. Because then it's like, well, he didn't beat Povetkin,
If
so
Povetkin wins again, White won't get a title shot.
yeah,
I think.
because he's already struggled, and he's been doing all right. So if he loses again to the same person, yeah, it is
Yeah,
gonna be a bit long
he's
for him.
in. He'll be in a very bad position if he does
Yeah.
lose again. But Povetkin, he might get the Fury fight after, assuming that AJ fights him first. He might get that fight, but I don't think he'll beat the Fury or AJ again. I don't think
No,
he'll
yeah.
beat Usyk either. So,
Yeah,
but
no, yeah, it's true. Yeah, so I Dylan White definitely has more to lose in this fight. But obviously as always, your Povetkin, he's a top boxer, and he's gonna want to prove that he deserves to be up there with.
yeah, he wants to prove that it wasn't a fluke and
Yeah.
that he's top 5 in the world, which in my rankings I have him there.
Yeah, you can't not put him there. I mean, there's a strong argument for him to be there as well, especially him showing, because if you're putting White up there and Povetkin's beat White, I mean, you kind of have to put him up there. So
Exactly. And then you got Joyce the Bar the week after, which
yeah, that's
I've
gonna
been.
be a
I think I found out about the fight in Jan. I
yeah.
found out about the fight in Jan, and maybe even earlier because I think they were trying to set it up. I remember just thinking, it's a very good fight, and
Yeah.
more and more I've been leaning towards Joyce, but
No, really.
right now I'm still. It's another fight that I'm on the fence for, but
Yeah.
I do think Dubois will do it because I just think
I
Joyce
just
takes
feel
two.
it's the
Right,
power.
I think Joyce does take too many right hands. I think that
with
will
the
be
boy, he's not going to be able to eat those punches. He's not going to be able to eat those punches.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see because Joyce's sparring Anthony Joshua. That's the best sparring you're going to get.
Yeah, literally.
You get better sparring. Stylistically, it might not be as similar, but you're not going to get better sparring than the unified heavyweight.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what his defense is like in that fight, and because Joyce's footwork is underrated. He actually moves. It's really odd to see someone move faster than they actually punch. It's very weird. And Joyce is one of those fighters who his footwork is actually pretty quick, but his hands look like he's punching through cement at times. Like single punch wise, but you don't really see Joyce throwing one shot often. He will always throw like at least 3 punches. He will, because he's got a terrific engine, and he will throw. He will throw so many punches.
Yeah. No, it
Did my
is
screen
very
black out a
true.
little bit?
Yeah, no, but it's alright now. But very interesting fight. I'm excited for that one. I think Dubois will do it, but it's definitely not going to be easy. I would like to see Joyce win, though. I would like to see him win.
Because I'm friends with one of Joyce's managers, and I would see Joyce win.
I would like to see Joyce win.
It will make everybody, because he has so many critics, and it will be nice to see him win.
Yeah.
I think if Joyce wins, Dubois can come back, because he's only 22, 23.
Yeah.
But Joyce he'll get like close to world title fight.
Yeah.
Because Dubois has a very high ranking in the WBO. He's not far.
Yeah, it's true.
He's not far off the world title.
He's actually not, and all credit to him, because he hasn't been fighting for a long time, and he's done well in the time that he's had. So can't take anything from him. Yeah, I feel like the ball will 100% bounce back if he does lose. If he does lose that fight, and there'll still be many opportunities for him. Yeah, he is young, so it would be good to see Joyce win, and then for Dubois to come back and eventually get a title shot.
Yeah.
No, but yes, I think that's pretty much it. If I'm not forgetting anything.
For this, I mean, there was fights on, there was Inoue, who's pound for pound star. He got a knockout in the 7th round.
Yeah.
Unbelievable fighter. You've got Regis Prograis, who also fought on the weekend. But I do want to talk about in terms. There's quite a few pay-per-views coming up.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't pay for Usyk Chisora, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I didn't either.
Because I feel like this pay-per-view card was not a good card.
Yeah.
It was like the fights themselves weren't bad, let's say, but they just weren't pay-per-view worthy. Apart from obviously Usyk Chisora and Selby Kambosos. They're the only ones that were.
Selby Kambosos was a good fight. What was your opinions on that fight, actually? Quickly.
I had it as a draw.
Yeah.
Kambosos maybe stealing it.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was a lot in it, to be honest. But
yeah, I didn't think there was a lot in it either.
I've seen so many different scorecards. I've seen some people think that Selby won comfortably. I've seen some people think that Kambosos won by like 6 rounds. And I think it was close.
No, it was definitely a close.
And I didn't mind if either fighter won. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, that's how I saw it, to be fair.
Kambosos is now mandatory for Teofimo Lopez. If he wins, if he gets that fight. I mean, I don't think he's beating Lopez.
No, he's not going to be Lopez, but
I don't think he's beating Lopez, but
At least
He's
he's
a
got.
good fighter. He's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
fighter.
he's a good fighter. He's shown you can get that opportunity, so can't take anything from him really.
Lee Selby is a good fighter, but it's going to be a long road for him because he's a veteran in the sport.
Yeah,
But I don't know if he'll get that many opportunities anymore.
yeah. Oh
All
man.
right.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to finally do this. I'm gonna double check to make sure the video is all good after this. But yeah, thanks for coming again, Sean. And yeah, this video will be out today. Oh man.
All
Yeah.
right.
Take care, man.
All right. See you later, bro.
Ah, gosh. Well, guys, it's been your boy Jaden TV. I know this is a very long video, but if you made it to end, I thank you. Appreciate it so much. Love every time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bow.